Hello, ladies and gentlemen. 'Tis I, Graham from Game Air. I suppose so. I suppose that's where I'm from. Um, Welcome to the latest review for Game Air, where I will be discussing Insomniac's latest game, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I was very lucky to receive this early via Insomniac Games. They were very kind enough to do that, and yeah, it's been a hell of a ride for these two, as it always is, isn't it? Yeah, it was just great to get back into it and just see the whole gang and just have their whole adventure together, just kind of retold. And yeah, I'm very happy that we're back. It's been a minute. If you can think about it, if you can be surprised, it's been 2016 was when the film game was released, which I don't consider canon. I don't know anyone who does. So yeah, there's that. I should say before we start the review off properly that Jade has once again, she's gone above and beyond to do an incredible piece of of art for the review. As you can see, I am a Lombax, along there with our two protagonists, Rivet and Ratchet. And in my hand, instead of a hammer or a wrench, is a PS5 controller, which was very, very well done. My fur is brown because my hair is brown. If you notice, there are also little speckles of freckles on my face, which is very funny. And of course, I went with the red and black because those are my colors. I like those colors. I don't hate. Uh, but yeah, those are my colors, and yeah, I'm really happy that how this turned out for Jade. It's been a lot of fun setting this all up, getting this all ready, and I hope you guys like my reviews. I hope that you watch them, and I hope that you enjoy this latest one. It's Ratchet and Clank is a game franchise very close to my heart. Came out almost 20 years ago. Like, it's 2002 was the very first Ratchet and Clank, and so it's a game that I've grown up with. It's kind of when I stopped playing Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, I started playing this and Jak and Daxter, and so yeah, I really like it. I really like it a lot, and to finally get them back is a dream come true because I absolutely adore them. I absolutely adore these two and all the mania they get up to. So let's start with the review, shall we? We'll start with positives, and we'll start with the main story, which there really always is. The fact that it's been a couple of years now. 2013, I believe, was when the last canonical Ratchet and Clank came out. Hi, Jade. But yeah, the last canonical Ratchet and Clank game came out in 2013, I believe, into the Nexus, which I actually didn't play. I thought I had played the last canonical game, and that was Ratchet and Clank A Crack in Time, which I thought was their last canonical one, but it wasn't. Turns out that it was. Yeah, thank you. Turns out that they had another one, and I didn't play it, and I can't believe it because there's a part in this story that you need to know about. And for those who don't know, There's a weapon called the Dimensionator, which allows you to travel through dimensions, which allows you to try and find which sorry, which Clank, which is to use to help Ratchet find the other Lombaxes, because as we know, it's been 19 years of these adventures. Uh, Lom- Lombaxes are far and few between. Uh, I think Ratchet, up until this point, has only met one other, and I believe he was in Crack in Time. Very cool character. I think it was Azimuth was his name. Very interesting Lombax character, and a very interesting character altogether. So we go into Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and at the very beginning of the game, well, not at the very beginning of the game, when we meet Ratchet and Clank, they're celebrating, being heroes, because why wouldn't you? It's great fun. Hi, hi, Cypher. So, why wouldn't you, celebrate being heroes for as long as they've been? And so they go through this first opening scene with with this whole parade, just like recapping all the previous games and hitting all the major bullet points. And at the end of it, they get the Dimensionator to hopefully find Ratchet's family and his people, and maybe find himself, maybe just literally find himself. And it's really sweet, and it's also the fact that then Ratchet's a bit taken back because he doesn't know if he could live up to the standards of meeting them, because he's met one or two. He's only met one, and that one was a legend. Like, literally was a legend. Azimuth was a legendary warrior general, and even though he had a tragic and complicated background, he was ultimately a hero. And so this is a lot to live up to for Ratchet, who's always been alone and has never gotten to see his family. So, cut to Dr. Nefarious, because it always cuts to Dr. Nefarious, because Dr. Nefarious is easily one of the best villains I've ever seen in a franchise, because he's so stupid, he's so funny, and he's so terrible at his job. But what's interesting is, and I only found out this time, was when I was looking up the cast, and anyone who's a Star Trek fan will love this knowledge. Dr. Nefarious is voiced by Armin Shimmerman, aka Quark, aka Principal Snyder in Buffy, and he's brilliant. He brings such an insane quality to this character that I just adore. I still remember in one of the previous games where you could play as Ratchet, Clank, Nefarious, and Captain Quark, that he is playable. He was so much fun to play as. And now we're back to the status quo. Basically, Nefarious decides he's going to steal the Dimensionator. He's going to find a dimension where he's perfect, and he's going to take that place over. So that, he's going to go to a dimension where bad guys always win, where he will always win. And it sounds a bit similar to the Crack in Time, where he was going to change time so that good bad guys also win. So, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Even though it's always broken with him, so I don't know. And so he goes, does that, catches it, and he travels to a different dimension. Ratchet and Clank follow him, and they get separated. And in this new dimension, Nefarious has won. Now, it's a completely different Nefarious, an Emperor Nefarious, not a Doctor Nefarious. No. He went past the PhD and went straight for Tyrant. And on this new dimension, we meet Rivet. And she is a rebel fighter, and she's got a cool-ass hammer. She's got a prosthetic limb that just looks beautiful. And also, she is also a Lombax. She is this dimension's Lombax. She's this dimension's Ratchet, which I don't quite understand, because when does it stop being just a different version of Ratchet and just being just a female Lombax? That was just a mind thing in my head. It's on, wait, so she's his counterpart, so she's not like a female that he could potentially have a relationship with. But it's the first one of his species that's a female that he's met. I just thought about that. And they're quite fine. Jade, you perfectionist. Jade's just Jade's not even listening to the review. Jade's just watching and looking at her artwork right now because it's gorgeous. And so you meet Rivet. Ratchet and Clank get separated, and Rivet kidnaps, like, because she kidnaps Ratchet Clank because he's broken and he can't get away, and so she travels off to another planet, and so Ratchet is left all alone in this new dimension, this new world where Nefarious is one, and robots and that are the right robots control all, and from there the action begins. And I'll tell you what, this is maybe the best looking game that I've seen in the current gen in a long time. This is truly pushing the power of the PS5, I think. Returnal was great, but it was too lonely. Honestly, it was a bit too lonely for my tastes. Resident Evil Village is not a PlayStation exclusive. It's a PS5. Sorry, it's PS4, PS5. So it's same. There's actually been very few PS5 games. So when this came out, I was right on there. I couldn't wait to try it out, and it did not let me down. The loading is phenomenal. Maybe the best loading I've seen in a game in a very long time. It just fires on all cylinders, and how it moves and how it reacts, and the shooting and everything is just absolutely brilliant. All the weapons. The best thing about it now is the fact that, and these two are just off in the chats, just having the lols. Like, look at them. I mean, like, good God. Doing a review, guys, and you're not really helping. Come on. Love me. So, the action is really over the top. Like, I would say it's the most action in a Ratchet and Clank game that I've seen, and I've played all the main ones. My favorite one is still Gladiator, where it's the co-op one on the PlayStation, and not the PlayStation, but like I think it was PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, and you have all these weapons, you share them together, and you team up together. Absolutely brilliant. It's maybe my favorite one, next to Crack in Time. And so it's so much fun just watching these seamless transitions from gameplay to cutscene, from cutscene to gameplay, and there's no like drop in quality. There's nothing. It is insane. Also, what it has up on other PlayStation 5 games, Returnal, is that it is not €80. It also doesn't overstay its welcome. It comes in at about, I want to say 10, maybe 15 hours, maybe less. I had it for a week before release, maybe a week and a half, and I finished it with a couple days to spare. And now, granted, I was playing it every day, but I wasn't playing it for a lot of hours. And to platinum it is not difficult. You'll probably have seen critics in that, Hunter and all that on Twitch. It's not hard to platinum. The only reason I didn't is because, honestly, I'm not a completionist. I'm not a trophy hunter. If I get trophies, cool, fun. But I play for the enjoyment, and once the enjoyment's done, I'm done. Unless I'm really craving it. The only time I've ever really craved it was with Spider-Man, and I got that, so I'm okay with that. What are these two talking about? Oh my God, John. So we've had this thing, like, and you'll see it in the chat about John's jokes. I am certain John has a child out there because his dad jokes are just like the worst. Like, they're the worst. And he's going to say something back to me now. He's going to, like, I don't know, raid me or something. I don't know, whatever he's going to do. And so basically, when this happens, like, the seamless cutting between scenes and between movies and levels, you're just at the beginning you're kind of thrown for a loop because you're just like, oh my god, how insane is this? This is mad. But you catch on quick, and boy is it rewarding. I played in fidelity mode, 30 FPS, and it was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. I have a 4K TV, and I adored it. The haptic senses, as per usual, are brilliant. I actually had John over. We were socially distancing, so don't worry about that. And it was very fun just to see him just kind of freak out a little bit because he's not played Returnal. He's not been playing any games that he has played were PS4's two PS5 games. So his first PS5 game was this, and he kind of freaked out. It was hilarious to watch. He was basically he took it in very much like just feeling the sensors on his skin when he was playing it, and it was a great way to see, was it just me? And it's not. The game is just above and beyond beautiful. Um, the weapons are just so much fun. The weapons are seriously so much fun. I can't get enough of them, and there's so many weapons, and I don't think there's a trophy for all the weapons because I thought I got all the weapons. The last weapon is not great. I'll be honest. It's not worth, in my opinion, it's not worth the time to get it. But all the other weapons are hilarious. I missed the sheepinator. I remember there being a sheepinator in one of the games. Correct me if I'm wrong. But in the sheepinator, you shoot something and it turns into a sheep. Or a bunch of sheep show up or something like that. In this one, you have the... I'm just going to call it the squirt gun because you shoot out a gun. You shoot this little bulb out and it turns into like this squirt gun that you would use on a lawn. And when it hits an enemy, it turns them into a flower. And they stay like that for a couple seconds. And you can have add-ons in that allow it that once you turn them into that, they stay longer. There's more. You can either shoot out more of them, of the bulbs, and afterwards, any weapon that hits them does more damage. And it's really clever because then the changing of weapons, because you get a solid like double digits of weapons, like three separate inventories of weapons, and you can swap through them flawlessly, like seamlessly. And so once you know where they are mapped on your little inventory, you can swap to them really quickly and just like go all out killing your enemies in various ways, in various silly ways. There's also the little zircons, which are hilarious. You know, the ones, the little kind of teethy robots. They're brilliant. I used this ping pong kind of thing, ping pong kind of weapon, where it hits the enemy and then it'll bounce up and it'll ricochet. That's what it's called. It's the ricocheteinator or whatever, and it goes bounces up that way and bounces up that way and bounces up that way, and then it keeps hitting them for like 6 or 7 times once you fully upgraded it. And what's interesting is you have to time it. So when it goes up, so when you hit it, you time it by the it's a rhythm weapon basically. So you time it, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. And what's really interesting about that is you feel it in the you feel it in the controller because it gives you that sense of rhythm and timing and that because the haptic sensors, and it's so much fun. And there's obviously the shotgun, which is a shotgun, so it's not that great, but it has other features on it, like an acid will kind of go into your enemies once they've been shot, so they'll continually damaged. There's an electric weapon that basically, if it hits one enemy and you move to another enemy, the current will continue, and it looks great. Because obviously the game looks great, and yeah, there's so many weapons. There's the Warmonger, which I think is an old favorite, which basically is it's a rocket launcher that's really powerful. And as it goes on further later in the game and levels up, which that they've still got that system in of you leveling up your weapons, and upgrading them at the same time. It homes in on enemies, and then it turns into the Peacemonger, so it becomes even more powerful. There's a weird weapon called Mr. Fungi, which is basically you shoot out a bullet, it turns into a fungus monster, a fungus man, and he just like goes, hey, shoot me. So he draws fire, and he starts shooting enemies at later levels. And then he gets, was it Miss Fung? Miss Fungus. No, what's her name? Fungal, and she joins in. So there's two of them, and then you can shoot out more bullets later on at different levels. So it's really interesting just to see the evolution of the weapons that evolve along with you. A great new feature that I love is you can get armor now, which changes your stats, and you get the armor um, all over the place in different locations across the multiverse that you travel. Excuse me, the multiverse that you travel in this game. And one of my favorites was that you can interchange the armor, and you do not have to buy any armor. And you also get all the skins. You get all the goddamn skins. So you get all the colors, so you can customize your favorite armor that you want to have with your different kinds of abilities and that. And there's like, I want to say like 7 or 8 armors for Rivet and Ratchet, and it's great. And then there's just the story that just you fall in love with. You fall in love with these two and their bromance and how it changes the whole galaxy. It changes 2 galaxies, for God's sake. And you meet new heroes and new villains along the way. The levels are great, really immersive. So much is going on. They all feel lived in. They all feel like you're just dropping into a new planet that's full of life. The maps are huge, and there are so many secrets. One of the cool things is because the dimensions are falling apart because of what Dr. Nefarious is doing, you have this new ability where you can latch onto broken dimensions and pull yourself to them. So it adds a new level of traversity across the game, and it is seamless. Like it is, that's pretty much the name of the day, guys. Seamless. This game is goddamn seamless, and I goddamn loved it. I could not get over how much fun I was having while I was having battles with pirates, while there was a kraken going on in this ocean planet, and flying across the skies on rope bridges and that, while fighting a giant mech. I mean, and this mech fight is properly cool. It is so much fun, so much traversal. Ratchet and Clank is famous for its grinding rails. There's one particular boss fight that is just so much fun because it's a grind rail. It's a grinder's paradise, is what I'm saying, and I absolutely adored it. And yeah, it's so much fun. The game is beautiful. You feel like you're playing. You feel like you're playing a DreamWorks animation. You feel like you're playing a Pixar film, and there's no loss of immersion at any point. At least I would say that if it wasn't for the fact of the several times, and I will say it was a lot of times, that the game glitched. Right? I said in my article that's being published with this, but I fell through the world a couple times. Literally, Ratchet. If I was going too fast for the game at some points, I would hit a wall and go through it, or I would go down through a wall at one point if the game glitches a bit. And then one time, Ratchet disappeared. Ratchet's arm disappears, so it just looks like a wrench. It's just like throwing things around, and it didn't help that in cutscenes, because they're so seamless, so you don't notice them. And this happened a couple times, and unfortunately, it did hamper my enjoyment of the game, which is a real shame because for so long was I riding high. For so long was I riding high with this game, and yeah, I will also say this. Yes, did I enjoy it? God, yes. Like, I enjoyed this hands down, but it is very familiar at times. As in, if you've played a Ratchet and Clank game, you know the ins and outs. You know what to expect. Yeah, there are a couple new surprises that make it a lot of fun. The dimension pulling part is interesting. The fact that when you can crack into another dimension to get secrets, it's seamless. It's like you break open a dimensional tear in a planet, you go through it, and it's just you go through it, you guard the stuff, and you come on back. And if there's action going on any of the sides, it doesn't slow down. It doesn't slow down at all. But it is very similar to all the other Ratchet and Clanks. This is just its strength and its weakness is that this is a great story, and it is the continuing story of 2 characters that we have known for 19 years, almost up to 20 now. The problem with that is we do know them pretty well. We know their ins, their outs, and we also know the game's it's been a lot of games in those 19 years. And so they haven't reinvented the wheel gameplay wise. But I don't need the wheel reinvented. I just need a ratchet, and I just need a rivet. I need a wrench. I need a hammer, and I think I'll be okay. And I also need a PlayStation 5 controller in my hand because, my God, like PlayStation 5 with this exclusive game, with this particular game as an exclusive, are going to really clean up, because I think a lot of people are going to fall in love with this game and will want to play this game. Will get PS5s to play this game. Returnal is way too serious and way too dense, and for the price, I don't think it was worth it. Especially for the amount of hours you put in, because I was talking with a friend of mine and he was just like, you should get like 60 to maybe 80 hours out of a roguelike. With Returnal, I got close to 40, I think. 40 or maybe 40, because I remember with Hades I got 60, and Hades is like €15. Returnal, €80, and I got maybe over 40, 45. I'm not a great roguelike player, so it's over 40. Now with this is, I think, €70. It might be a little bit less, might be a little bit more, depending on which versions you get. And you're only going to be playing it for like 15 hours, maybe 20 to 25 if you want to push to get those platinums. But I think it's worth it. It is the PlayStation 5 on full show. It is beautiful. It is emotional. I cried once or twice, but that might just be because I haven't seen Ratchet and Clank in a very long time. And yeah, it's got a sweet sense of humor to it and a sweet depth to it that I really enjoyed. It also has some wonderful messages about family, as well as, and I can't speak on this, and I'll speak on this as someone who is perfectly functional as a human being. The only issues I have is a case of epilepsy that I can under complete control. But I'd just like to say, there is a team, and I could be reaching, where they celebrate the disenfranchised, the people who are broken, who are perceived as broken, who might be considered disabled. And the way that they celebrate those individuals and the way that they elevate those individuals in the story is beautiful. It's really sweet. It's at times a little tragic. And I really liked the game for doing that. I thought it was very sweet of it to do that, to touch on a topic that can be, unless you truly understand what it means, because I don't understand what it means, you can misfire very easily. And I think they really landed it. They really reached for the stars, and they brought a couple down for us. I adored this game. I can't say I'm going to give it like a full 5 out of 5 or whatever, but it's definitely it's as close to perfect for a game as a debut game for the PS5 as I can give. It might be one of the best PS5 games out there currently, and I say that because most of them are imports from PS4, or the Returnal, and Returnal is a niche game, and is maybe not it's not going to be a lot of people's cup of tea. This game could be for families. You could literally have one section of the family sitting down watching it happening, while the other half of the family is playing it, and you'd all have a ton of fun. So apart from that, yeah, I just had a load of fun playing this game. I can't recommend it enough. Hope you enjoyed my review. This one's a little shorter than the other one. I'm trying to see how these work, and depending on the review, depending on the game, I'll have more. There will be more coming up that I can discuss now, because this was under embargo for a while, so I couldn't say that I was working on it. But this next one will be Guilty Gear Strive, and the one after that will be the Falconer Warrior Edition. And yeah, so guys, thank you so much for watching this time. Yeah, that's really all I can think. Much love to James Arnold Taylor. Jennifer Hale for voicing Rivet. She gave such a riveting performance. James Earl Taylor is always great as Ratchet. David Kay as Clank, brilliant. There's a new addition into the cast that I don't want to spoil, but this character is amazing. Anyone who's played it will know who I'm talking about. She's small, but she's mighty. And yeah, Armin Shimmerman, as always, is an absolute insane delight. Yeah, I would highly recommend you get this, and I hope that my little review has helped. So, guys, I'll see you soon. I think I'll be on a stream tomorrow, actually, playing more Persona 5. Because Persona 5 is... sorry, not Persona 5. God damn it, I was so close. Persona 4 Golden. But yeah, I'll be playing that tomorrow, usual time. Because I took last weekend off to enjoy the long weekend, which I did. Got a little burnt, but it's now faded into a beautiful golden hue. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. Much love. And let us know. Do you enjoy these? We'd love to do more. If you want just AMAs to talk about whatever, because I've been watching a lot of stuff. I watched Ragnarok, both seasons over this period of a week and a half, and I really enjoyed it. I really love Ragnarok. It's such a great story, such a great series, and it got me a little bit annoyed at Ireland, but that's another story for another time. So until then, send on all your love to Jade for her remarkable artwork that she got done very quickly and almost burned her out. I hope we didn't burn her out too much. Send love to Jennifer Hale, to James Arnold Taylor, to David Kay, to Armin Shimmerman, and to everyone at the Ratchet and Clank studio, Insomniac Games. So yeah, much love, guys. See you soon.